Alright, so as you can see from our slightly toasted oven here, we had us a thermal event earlier, better known as an oven fire, from trying to toast some taco shells. And so it was a simple mistake. I mean, you know, things happen for a reason. That's what my son said too. He said maybe the reason is that he doesn't have fire extinguishers in his house. So this is a clue that he needs to go get him some, because it was a simple mistake. It was just using broil versus bake in the oven, and it caught the little taco shells on fire. But what could have been a huge deal was just a very minor deal. Granted, you know, I got to clean some things. I'll probably have to replace this seal, and my top of my cabinet right there got a little bowed, so we'll have to fix that. But it could have been a huge deal had I not had fire extinguishers in the house. And that's one of the things I learned a long time ago, because I do DIYs out in the shop, and I'll put a clip up there of kind of a funny one that one of the motorcycles had a big old thermal event, and I was able to just put it out like normal. Alright, so with plugs out, let's go ahead and crank it over and blow that fuel out of there. Whoa! She caught on the fur. Shows you how much fuel was down in that cylinder. Alright, let's try that with the plug down so it don't ignite. You never know when something like this is going to happen, so on that lines of everything happens for a reason, I figured since I got my channel that I would post this out here, so maybe folks will watch this and you'll go, aha, I don't have any fire extinguishers in my house, maybe I ought to go get some. So that's the reason why I'm making the video. So what we're going to do is walk around. We got to clean our oven up and do all that, but what I do, I keep fire extinguishers around the house. Now I'm not one of them crazy people that, you know, sits in a corner and shakes, worried about the world and all that. But I do know things occur, and so fire extinguishers are one thing that's going to help you really quick figure it out. I wasn't worried, stayed calm, wasn't any problem at all, because I knew I had a fire extinguisher sitting here. So we'll walk around the house and out into the garage, and we'll show where I keep all my fire extinguishers to maybe give you some hints on where would be a good place to put some of these. Alright, so in the kitchen, this fire extinguisher that I just used, of course I got to replace it. And by the way, they're only about $20, $25. So versus going and getting that steak dinner on Friday night, why don't you just go get you a fire extinguisher or two and put them in the house. That way you don't have to worry about it. So this one normally hides inside of this cabinet right here. And everybody knows where it is. It sits right inside of there. I got an oven over here to the right, so I just kind of keep them right in the middle. So that's where the kitchen one is, and as you can see, when I put the little fire out, I didn't have to fully discharge it. I just had to shoot it for a couple of seconds. So the flames were, you could see them inside the oven. I just opened up the door real quick, shot the flames out, closed the door back, and what they did is smothered the flames out. Of course, I turned the oven off before I did that. But super simple. This one has plenty of stuff left in it, but it's been used, and so I'm going to throw it away because they're only like 25 bucks. Why not just get you a couple of these things and just keep them fresh? They have the little gauges on them. They'll tell you. You can look at them periodically and see. So now, let's walk on out to the garages and see where else we keep fire extinguishers around this house. Alright, so we're out in the attached garage. This is the one that's attached to the house where I keep all of the motorcycles. And as you can see, hanging up on the wall up there, nice and visible so everybody can see it, there's another little fire extinguisher just like the one in the kitchen. So he's here because it's a garage. Just in case something catches on fire, I keep gas cans and things over by the door. So you never know. Really visible, easy to see. And that one takes care of this garage. So now we'll walk on down to the other garage, and then we'll also walk down and see about the boat. Alright, so over to the big garage. This is the 3-car garage where I do all my shop work and stuff. And as you can see, I do a little motor work and we do some welding and things like that. So over here, hiding behind the cat litter, is another fire extinguisher. So it sits right over here in the corner by the door. I know exactly where it is, and I can go put a fire out here real easy. And then also back in the back where you do soldering and things like that on the shop benches, there's another fire extinguisher sitting right up here because I do work back there. So 2 in the big garage. So now let's walk down to the boathouse and we'll see if we got fire extinguishers down there. All right, so down in the boathouse, and this is a little ways from the main house, but there's a fire extinguisher in the boat. Now, that's by law. You have to have a fire extinguisher if you have a boat out on the water. I don't have to have one while I got it in storage here, but it's nice and handy, and I keep it accessible up there. I know exactly where it is, just in case something happens down here, because it's also where I keep my old 80s cars. And then also, for the Fiero, this one had problems with catching on fire when they made the thing years ago. Not my particular model, but the 4-cylinder had problems. So inside of there is also another fire extinguisher, because some of the car shows require you have to have a fire extinguisher with your vehicle, and I'll set it up under the front wheel to note that I have a fire extinguisher for my car. So we got 2 down here we got easy access to, just in case something happened down here in the boathouse. So now we'll head back into the house and we'll look in the mechanical rooms, because there's 2 more places where it's a good idea to put some fire extinguishers. Alright, so up in the attic, we're up in the top of the house here, and this is the upper AC unit. And you never know with things that are motorized, you know, like the blower, or these are gas units actually, that you might have something short out, could catch fire in here. You'd smell it real quick because it's in your ductwork, but right over here beside it, and I just set it down here by the trunk, is another little fire extinguisher. And that way, if something happens over here, I'm 4, 5, 6 feet away, I can easily grab my little fire extinguisher and see if I can put that fire out by opening up the doors or whatever, if it does catch on fire inside. So then we'll go downstairs and we'll look at one more place where we keep a fire extinguisher in the house. Alright, so for the last spot in the house where we keep a fire extinguisher, it's down in the lower mechanical room. So this is where the lower air conditioning unit is, and like I say, these are gas, but we also have the electrical panels, and we also have the hot water heater back here. So right inside the door, when you walk in by the switch, there's another one of these little fire extinguishers. Alright, so as you can see, we got a little mess to clean up from our fire extinguisher, but that's all the damage that was done, was just a few little things to the oven. We'll get that took care of. Could have been a whole lot worse, because without the fire extinguisher you can't react as quick, and you can't keep as calm, because then you got to think, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? Well, if you got these fire extinguishers sitting around, then you know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to open up that door and you're going to put the fire out, and then you're going to close it back up and let it suffocate itself. So there's kind of a rundown on the different places that I keep the fire extinguishers, and I think I counted up about 8. So over the course of the years I've been adding them. It wasn't like I bought all 8 at one time. You can see they're different models, and some of them are older. But in total we got about 8 of them, and that covers most of the areas around the house and in the garage and in the vehicles and the boat that require me to have one, just in case something comes up. I got one close by. Well, alrighty, share this with your friends and ask them if they got fire extinguishers in their house, because they'll make all the difference in having a big issue become a little issue, or a big issue turn into an even bigger issue. Well, alright, well, thanks for watching.